It was table toppers Gujarat Titans who were up against bottom of the table team in the Rajasthan Royals, and Gujarat Titans definitely played like a team who finds themselves at the second position on the points table right now. That might as well just change by the time this game ends, because Gujarat Titans batting first have put on 209 runs on the board, which seems to be a very, very competitive total on this wicket, because still now the average total over here in the first innings has been 177. They are well past over that with 209 on the board. And the top order for the Gujarat Titans again continues to shine. The middle order again not having too much opportunity, because up top 39 by Sai Sudarshan, 84 by Shubman Gill, and then 50 by Jos Buttler. Butler did most of the job for the Gujarat Titans. What do you guys think? Is this going to be a competitive enough total?
I think first of all, before we get to it, I'll, pinpoint an interesting stat that Harshid had, spoken with me. I think this is just the fourth time that Sai Sudarshan has gotten out for a score below 50 in the tournament so far. That just, speaks volumes about the kind of season that he has had. But I think overall a great batting performance by Gujarat Titans. Barring Dew, I really expect them to, cross the finishing line here. The way Sudarshan and Gill have batted, throughout this tournament, it has been magnificent to say the least. Jos Buttler equally complimenting them. They haven't really required their middle order to do that particular job on most of the occasions. But then Gujarat Titans completely making full use, or maybe showing their true dominance over a team that has really been totally lackluster in the tournament so far, and I expect the trend to continue. And even if there is Dew, I still expect GT to give a good fight back. Good fight.
I don't know how you guys look at the surface, but if the opposition was, let's say, one of the other teams in a Delhi or a RCB or a Punjab who've looked good and find themselves in the top half, I think maybe this total would not have been enough, because conditions, if you ask me, looked rather flat. There were runs on offer every time. There was initiative shown from all the batters. Even, let's say, somebody like a Washington Sundar who lasted all of 8 deliveries, but the times that he tried to go and middle the ball, there were runs on offer, there were runs for the taking. So only because it's Rajasthan, I'm willing to stick my neck out and say this is a good enough total on the night, and I expect GT to defend this. But if this was any other team, perhaps they could have been about 15 odd short. Rayan Parag did mention about Dew at the toss, and that's where I think things could have been different had there been a better opposition. But I don't quite see this Dew helping Rajasthan a lot, because they've done very little to give me any confidence at the halfway stage of this particular match. Too many inconsistencies, especially in the batting department. So I don't expect them to overhaul this total that's been set to them. But any other team, I think, would have taken this, because I could see runs being on offer every time the bat made contact with the ball.
The pitch definitely is a little. It's definitely a good wicket to bat on, but the thing is that the nature of this wicket is a little slowish by nature. The tendency of this wicket is that it eventually does get slower later on as well. But today there's a grass covering.
Did we see any of those signs towards the end?
No, we didn't, and that's why I'm pointing out at this point also that there's a very good grass cover. It's definitely really hard, but eventually once the game progresses, it will start to come on its true nature. If we just go by the conditions, 200 is a par total in that sense, but just keeping in mind that the previous records, and there haven't been too many runs on this wicket. I think after 2024, this is the first time 200 has been crossed on this venue, on this pitch particularly.
This is actually very interesting. I'm sorry to cut you short, but when you look at the Savai Mansingh, that's what the common belief now among commentators also is, and I was listening to a couple of them the other day. You don't know what to make of this Savai Mansingh pitch, because traditionally it used to be a venue where you could see runs and ball used to come on the bat very well. But then over the last few years, last couple of seasons, in fact, you saw conditions slow down, the pitch slow down a bit. And today what we saw, it looked like the Savai Mansingh of the past, where run scoring would happen. So I think this is where the home team as well, and it'll be interesting to see their record at home now for the Rajasthan Royals over the last few years. I don't think it's a very good one, but that's primarily due to this up and down nature of the pitch as well. I don't think they know much about what to expect from Sawaya Mansingh. So as you were saying, 177. Now 209 by that standard looks like an above par total, but today as we saw, stroke making was easy. You could hit through the line, you could play so many cross batted shots as well. We saw that from Shubman, we saw that from Buttler also towards the end. So batters were willing to take risks, they were willing to take willing to go for those cross batted shots, and that tells me that today's strip is one where you could score runs, and even for a team that was asked to bat first, I think Gujarat will be happy with 209.
Yeah, absolutely. I think let's just maybe discuss a bit about the Rajasthan Royals bowling here. Once again, I think the same candidates who have done the job for them so far this season haven't really been consistent, though. Jofra Archer once again being taken to the cleaners. Mahesh Theekshana has been inconsistent. Yudhvir Singh Charak playing ahead of Tushar Deshpande. Now this is something that baffles me, because still there is no update on Akash Madhwal. He continues to feature in that impact sub list, but why is he not being preferred over any of those pace bowlers who are a part of their think tank or the ranks? I'm still not sure about it, why it is happening. Sandeep Sharma did bowl a good spell. Riyan Parag tried himself for an over, and Vanindu Hasaranga once again proving to be inconsistent. I think when nothing has gone right for you in the initial stages, that's where RR have basically the trend has basically continued with them in the middle stages of the tournament also, because one thing is for sure, that if RR lose today, then they are going to be eliminated from the competition
mathematically also, and
overall they will become the first team to be knocked out from the competition
next to their name.
Because at max the number of wins that they will be able to reach is going to be 6, and that will obviously not be enough to seal a spot in the final 4. But honestly, with the kind of form that Rajasthan have showed in the last few matches, does any one of you give them a chance to overhaul this total? Personally, it's a no.
For me also it's a no, but until and unless one person from the Rajasthan batter has a tremendously great day, till then I don't think they have a chance.
I'm not giving them much of a chance either. I, in fact, a few minutes back said that, just because it's Rajasthan, I'm giving GT 2 points over here, because any other team, I think maybe this total wouldn't have sufficed. But Rajasthan, I agree that one of the batters or two batters really have to have a very good outing, but it's the inconsistency that runs not only in the bowling, as Gulati you were just talking through their bowling attack, but in the batting as well. Dhruv Jurel hasn't come to the party, Hetmeyer hasn't come to the party, Riyan Parag's been getting a lot of starts, but I think he still has to go past the 43 mark, 44 mark. That remains his highest score this season. He has a lot of 20s, but as captain, you don't just expect those 20s and 30s or 40s for that matter. You expect there to be more responsibility, and he's looked good to get off the blocks, but it's that conversion that has really troubled Riyan Parag this time. Yashasvi has done well after a slow start to the season. He's done well to get amongst the runs. I think he features in the top 5 now. But otherwise, somebody needs to have a freakish day for them to be able to pull off this win. Otherwise, as a unit, it's been a sorry story, the Rajasthan Royals this year.
On current form, I think it has to be none other than Yashasvi Jaiswal, because he is the one who has done most of the done most of the workload in the last few matches or so, has been their consistent scorer. Had it not been for his quickfire 49 against RCB there, things could have been completely different.
They need a very good start up top.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing is, if you look at some of their losses, Rajasthan are to be blamed, they have themselves to be blamed and no one else for where they find themselves on the points table. At various points in the past, they were ahead of the match as well. In fact, that Delhi match for that matter, or that RCB match, those were 4 points maybe they should have taken. And this is what has separated them.
Their last game, Delhi, RCB, and one more game they lost like this.
LSG won.
Yeah, three
Three
games
matches.
should have been there.
So they'll really be kicking themselves for being ahead at times, for being in situations where they didn't have to do anything extraordinary. But this time that cohesion, I think, is missing, that role clarity. If a Jurel knew what rate at which he has to play, if a Hetmeyer knew what is his exact role. And in terms of role clarity, you look at what RCB did yesterday against Delhi. Virat, as he said, he was constantly in touch with the dugout, and he knew he was playing run a ball, and he wasn't playing the way T20 cricket is to be played. There wasn't any aggressive shot that we saw from him, but that's because the team had modeled their chase around that particular formula. It's that formula that the team had decided to stick by. So while Virat could play the way that he did, it was Krunal's job after he'd crossed the 24-25 mark to then start going for his strokes. So with Rajasthan, I feel because that inconsistency comes from lack of clarity. There's been no role. Is Dhruv Jurel the finisher, or is Hetmeyer the finisher? You still don't know that about this Rajasthan side. So there's been too much that's been happening, too many inconsistencies, and there's been leadership change as well. You started the tournament with a Parag, then for a couple of matches you went back to Samson, and then Parag happens to be the captain again. So on multiple parameters, on multiple counts, this Rajasthan team has disappointed.
Okay, Mirage Rules, has a very interesting way of putting it. Obviously, Riyan Parag will do it for RR. That's what his bold prediction is. Mr. Shekhar GTN from the US is saying that agree partially with Harshit, but don't forget the bowling that GT possesses, along with the fact that they've already defeated table toppers RCB, Delhi Capitals and MI convincingly. I think this should be, this is basically, GT's game to lose from here, to be very honest, because they have a brilliant bowling attack. Minus Rabada, they have still done well, and, once he returns, it's going to be an even more threatening bowling attack. And the way I think they've gone about, bowlers would be able to fulfill. Any more comments, Shivam?
And yeah, meanwhile, the orange cap is back with Sai Sudarshan.
Yeah.
That's courtesy his 39 that he scored today. A couple of other comments before we see the first ball get bowled. Freaking Awesome says that it's a pretty good score. Only SRH can chase down 200 plus at Savai Mansingh. 197 is RR's highest recorded chase. Anything over 105 is hard to chase over here. Yeah. All right. Priyanshu says GT top 2 Jaigi. It does look like, because today if GT are to get those 2 points, they go top of the table, and that will push RCB to the second place.
And Priyanshu is saying that, he has lost all hope as far as Rajasthan Royals are concerned. So it's 3-0 as far as our predictions go.
Yeah. In case you're joining us right now, do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Meanwhile, let's just give you a quick update. It is Ishant Sharma who is the impact sub for the Gujarat Titans. Let's see how Rajasthan, the hosts, go about their chase. For now, Siddharth, Shashwat and I will take your leave. But remember, we will be back with our grand show in our detailed discussion that will follow after the second innings is done. So there we look forward to having more thoughts from you guys, taking up more of your questions, and bringing the match analysis to you at that particular hour. So until then, it's bye-bye to all of you all from the Sports Today studio. We'll see you after the second innings ends.